The air in Havenwood still smelled of damp earth and shattered dreams. A hurricane had swept through, not just flattening homes, but crushing spirits. Among the debris, a young woman named Olivia stood, her small workshop reduced to a pile of twisted metal and waterlogged wood. Everything she had, every carefully saved penny, every tool, was gone. The silence that followed the storm was heavier than any noise, filled with the echo of what once was. For a moment, the weight was unbearable. Her hands, usually skilled and steady, trembled as she picked up a broken piece of pottery, a relic from her ruined craft. This was it, the absolute bottom. But Olivia was not one to stay buried. She closed her eyes, remembering her grandmother's words. Even a broken vase holds the memory of its beauty, and with effort can be made whole again, stronger for the mending. A flicker, then a fierce fire ignited within her. This wasn't the end. It was a devastating, undeniable beginning. She had to rebuild, not just her life, but something far greater. She refused to let Havenwood's shattered pieces define her future. Her first steps were tiny, painful. With no money and little more than the clothes on her back, she sought odd jobs, clearing debris for meager pay. People around her murmured, advising her to just start over small. But Olivia's vision wasn't small. It was a swirling, impossible dream of creating sustainable, hurricane-resistant building materials. Something Havenwood desperately needed. Something the world needed. Most scoffed, calling it a foolish fantasy. How could a woman with nothing build something so grand? Yet Olivia had something more valuable than money. An intelligent, restless mind and an iron will. She spent her nights reading salvaged engineering textbooks, sketching designs on scraps of paper, and meticulously researching. One day, while volunteering at a makeshift community center, she overheard an elderly retired architect, Mr. Henderson, talking about innovative, eco-friendly materials. She approached him, nervously at first, then with an unstoppable flood of ideas. Mr. Henderson, initially skeptical of this young, disheveled woman, was captivated by her raw passion and clear understanding of complex concepts. He saw a spark of genius, a reflection of his own youthful ambition. He didn't have money to give her, but he offered his knowledge, his library, and his unwavering belief. He became her first true ally, a mentor who taught her that knowledge was power, and persistence was the key to unlocking it. Armed with newfound theoretical knowledge and Mr. Henderson's quiet encouragement, Olivia knew she couldn't build her dream in Havenwood, the bustling metropolis of Emerald City, with its towering skyscrapers and relentless energy, called to her. It was a leap into the unknown, a world away from the familiar dust of her hometown. She arrived with only a single worn backpack, a head full of ideas, and a heart full of hope. The city was a harsh teacher. She took on grueling jobs, waiting tables, cleaning offices, anything to pay for a tiny room and save enough for materials for her experiments. She faced countless rejections from investors who found her ideas too ambitious, her background too humble. "Where's your experience, young lady?" they'd ask, dismissing her. Her enemies weren't just the naysayers. They were exhaustion, loneliness, and the creeping whisper of self-doubt. There were days she almost gave up, sitting alone in her cramped room, the city's lights mocking her struggle. One particularly brutal rejection, after she had poured every ounce of her savings into a prototype that failed spectacularly, brought her to her knees. This was her deepest ordeal, the moment the cracks in her resolve threatened to shatter her completely. But in that dark moment, staring at the crumbled prototype, she saw not failure, but data. She remembered Mr. Henderson's words, "Every no is just a not yet, and every mistake is a lesson learned." She redesigned, refined, and driven by an unshakable belief, found a discarded machine part that, with some ingenious modification, became crucial to her new prototype. This was her transformation. She emerged from that struggle stronger, smarter, and even more determined. Her next presentation was different. This time her conviction was palpable, her answers sharp, her spirit radiating resilience. A small, independent engineering firm, impressed by her sheer tenacity and the innovative twist in her new design, gave her a chance. It wasn't $1 million investment, but it was enough. From that small start, her company, Phoenix Innovations, soared. Her hurricane-resistant materials proved revolutionary, first in disaster-prone regions, then globally. The journey was not without its bumps, intense competition, production challenges, sleepless nights. But Olivia, now a seasoned entrepreneur, met each hurdle with the same unwavering spirit she had summoned in the ruins of Havenwood. Her name became synonymous with innovation and resilience. Years later, Olivia stood on the stage of a global innovation summit, the founder of a multi-million-dollar company. The journey from Havenwood's shattered pieces to this gleaming international stage felt surreal, yet entirely earned. She returned to Havenwood, not to live, but to invest, to rebuild, and to establish community centers and training programs. Sharing her knowledge and resources, she showed them that even the most devastated places could rise again. Her story became a beacon, a living testament to the fact that true wealth isn't just measured in money or buildings. It's found in the unbreakable spirit of a person who dares to dream beyond disaster, who turns pain into purpose, and who builds an unimaginable legacy from the ashes of adversity. What's shattered pieces in your life are waiting to be transformed into your unbreakable dream. Begin building your legacy today.